What if the most brutal battle of World War II wasn't fought over an island, but over the secret it was hiding? For decades, we've believed the story of Guadalcanal was about military strategy, but local legends, recent discoveries, and chilling eyewitness accounts point to something else entirely. They speak of ancient giants, strange lights in the sky, and a power that has occupied the island long before any army arrived and has never left. Before we open those doors together, hope you've been sleeping okay lately. It really matters. And if you're still with me, maybe hit like and subscribe. We're only getting started. This is the story of the giants of Guadalcanal. For as long as anyone can remember, the folklore of the island has been dominated by the presence of giants. These aren't simple bedtime stories to frighten children. To the people of Guadalcanal, these legends are a part of their living history, as real as the mountains themselves. The accounts vary, painting a complex and often contradictory picture. Some tales speak of benevolent giants, gentle guardians of the forest who would occasionally help and care for humans. But other stories carry a darker tone, chilling accounts of giants who killed, who abducted, who took what they wanted without warning. Their appearance is just as debated. Some describe them as stout, hairy, almost ape-like creatures, similar to the Sasquatch or Bigfoot legends of North America. Others insist they are more humanoid, like us, but on a truly colossal scale. According to the accounts collected on the island, these beings stand anywhere from 10 to 15 feet tall, that's roughly 3 to 4.5 meters. With a height that towers over any known human, their weight could easily exceed 700 to 1,000 pounds, about 300 to 450 kilograms, of solid bone and muscle. And even these giants are sometimes considered the smaller ones, as older, more ancestral legends speak of true titans reaching heights of up to 50 feet, or 15 meters. The idea of such a creature is so staggering that it's no surprise some ancient stories claim they interbred with the human population, their bloodline secretly mingling with that of the islanders. But perhaps the most profound mystery surrounding the giants is not just their size, but their ability to vanish. Local lore claims they can traverse the entire length of the island, from one coast to the other, without ever seeing the light of day. They achieve this, it is said, by navigating a complex and ancient network of subterranean tunnels. This isn't just a simple cave system. The legends describe a veritable subterranean highway. A network of passages, some say they are natural lava tubes formed by the island's volcanic heart. Others insist they were artificially carved with impossible precision, that crisscross the island's entire foundation. Elders in remote villages whisper of hidden entrances, disguised in deep ravines or concealed behind waterfalls. Places that are considered taboo, where the air grows cold and a deep silence falls upon the jungle. This raises a chilling question. Did the giants create this labyrinth to hide from the world? Or did they simply inhabit a pre-existing infrastructure? An infrastructure perhaps built by something even older, for a purpose far beyond our understanding, turning the entire island of Guadalcanal into a hollow, secretive shell. This isn't just myth. For the local people, it's a fundamental truth. The giants exist. And as modern development, logging, mining, and new settlements encroaches on their territory, they have simply retreated deeper into the mountains, into the shadows, waiting. For decades, these stories remain just that, stories. Compelling, yes, but impossible for the outside world to verify. Until 1998. Imagine this, a remote gold mining operation, deep in the island's interior. The air is thick with humidity, the drone of insects a constant backdrop to the roar of heavy machinery. One evening, a massive D9 bulldozer breaks down. To perform the necessary repairs, the crew detaches its formidable blade, a solid slab of steel weighing a staggering 10 tons, and leaves it on the ground overnight. The crew returns the next morning, expecting to find the blade exactly where they left it. But it's gone. Not stolen, but moved, a significant distance from the bulldozer. As they stare in disbelief, their eyes are drawn to the ground, to the soft mud churned up by the overnight rain. There, pressed deep into the earth, were footprints, humanoid in shape, but of a size that defied all reason, the footprints of a giant. The incident was a local sensation, a piece of tangible modern evidence that seemed to validate the ancient legends. But what could have the strength to move a 10-ton piece of steel? And where did it go? The mystery of the giants was about to take a sharp turn, rocketing from the realm of folklore into the high strangeness of the 21st century. The key to this new chapter comes from a man named Marius Boirayon. A retired Australian helicopter engineer, Boirayon moved to the Solomon Islands in 1995 and spent years living among the local people. He listened, he documented, and he compiled their incredible stories into his book, Solomon Islands Mysteries. Boirayon wasn't just a passive collector of tales, he was an investigator, and the theory he proposed was nothing short of revolutionary. He believed the giants were real, but he didn't think they were a simple, undiscovered primate. Based on his extensive interviews, Boirayon concluded that the giants, the strange occurrences, and the island's deepest secrets were all inextricably linked to another, even more pervasive phenomenon: UFO activity. According to Boirayon's synthesis of native accounts, Guadalcanal is home to not one, but two secret non-human bases. One, a massive installation buried deep within the peaks of the central mountain range, the alleged home of the giants themselves. The other, an equally vast and active base hidden beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean. Suddenly, a flood of strange reports, which had been documented for years, started to make a terrifying kind of sense. Witnesses had long spoken of seeing mysterious lights, not just in the sky, but under the ocean. Fishermen would report seeing glowing objects ascend from the depths, hover silently in the air, and then vanish with impossible speed. These unidentified submerged objects, or USOs, were often seen in the very areas where the WWII wrecks littered the seabed, the graveyard of Iron Bottom Sound. The accounts were bafflingly consistent. Objects would emerge from the ocean and disappear directly into remote, isolated lakes high in the mountains. Discs of light were seen maneuvering over the rusting hulks of battleships before streaking inland to vanish into the sides of volcanoes. These weren't just distant lights. The encounters were often intimate and terrifying. Imagine for a moment you are a fisherman from a village near Marau Sound. The year is 1985. The night is moonless, the water like black glass. For hours, only the gentle lapping of waves against your canoe breaks the silence. Suddenly, the water beneath you begins to glow, not with the soft light of phosphorescence, but with an intense, pulsating electric blue. A sphere of pure light, the size of a small car, silently emerges from the depths, hovering just 50 feet from your canoe. The air in the ether crackles with static electricity. The hair on your arms stands on end. You feel no heat, hear no sound, but you are paralyzed by a sense of ancient, overwhelming intelligence. Just as quickly as it appeared, it shoots straight up into the starry sky and vanishes. You are left alone in the darkness, trembling, with a story you know no one will ever truly believe. And then there were the disappearances, chilling accounts, passed down through generations, of people being abducted after a close encounter with these lights. There's the whispered tale of two brothers who, in the late 1970s, went hunting for wild pigs deep in the foothills of Mount Popo Manaslu. Days later, only one returned, stumbling into his village in a state of shock, clothes torn, rambling incoherently about tall men who walked through the trees as if they were mist, and a light that swallowed the sky and his brother with it. The other brother was never seen again. In his book, Boirayon even documented local stories of these beings being malevolent, capable of harming or even frying humans who got too close. Who were these beings? And what was their connection to the giants? The search for an answer leads us to yet another layer of island folklore, and to a theory favored by ancient astronaut proponents. The giants are not the only strange entities said to inhabit these islands. Legends also speak of the Adaro, fearsome creatures, half human and half fish. Their lore is specific. They are said to travel from the sun to the earth on rainbows, and they are lethally dangerous, capable of killing people by firing poisonous flying fish from their bows. On the surface, this sounds like pure mythology. But what if it's something more? The Adaro are not merely monsters. Local lore describes them with chilling specificity. They are said to have gills behind their ears, and their skin, though scaled like a fish, shimmers with all the colors of the sun. The rainbows they travel on are said to be their breath, and the poisonous flying fish they shoot are described not as arrows, but as darts of concentrated light that can paralyze a man instantly. Many locals share a fascinating belief that connects all these strange beings. They tell stories of beings who are not fixed in their form, entities that can appear as a giant, then a human, then something else entirely. They are, in essence, shapeshifters. This idea forms the spine of a mind-bending theory. What if the giants, the Adaro sea monsters, and the other strange creatures are not separate species at all? What if they are merely different disguises, terrifying masks worn by a single alien intelligence, an intelligence that wishes to remain hidden? This leads to a far more disturbing thought. If this intelligence can appear as a giant or a sea monster to frighten people away, what's to stop it from appearing as a human? How many of the island's own stories, its own leaders, its own heroes, could have been influenced, or perhaps even replaced, by this hidden, shape-shifting power, subtly guiding the course of human events for reasons we cannot possibly comprehend? It begs the question, why here? Why this remote chain of islands in the South Pacific? The answer may lie in geology. The Solomon Islands sit directly on the Pacific Ring of Fire, one of the most tectonically and volcanically active zones on the planet. The constant shifting of tectonic plates, the geothermal heat, the volcanic activity, it creates an environment of immense raw energy. If a technologically advanced non-human intelligence were looking for a place to power its bases, a place with a steady and potent source of natural energy, the volatile geology of Guadalcanal would be a perfect location. So what is the truth of Guadalcanal? We are left with a tapestry of interwoven mysteries, the ghosts of a world war, ancient stories of hairy giants who roam through subterranean tunnels, a 10-ton bulldozer blade moved by an unseen force, and modern accounts of glowing objects rising from the sea and vanishing into mountains, all documented by a determined researcher. Are the giants a remnant of an ancient hominid species, a Pacific Bigfoot hiding from the modern world? Or are they something else entirely, bioengineered guardians, or even the alien operators themselves cloaked in a fearsome disguise? What truly lies deep within the cloud-shrouded peaks of the island, and what secrets are still resting in the silent, watery graveyard of Iron Bottom Sound? The stories from Guadalcanal suggest that the greatest mysteries on Earth may not be found in dusty archives or distant stars, but here, in the deep jungle and dark waters, where ancient legends and futuristic technology seem to collide. What do you think is happening in the Solomon Islands? Are these separate legends, or are they all pieces of a single unbelievable puzzle? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this mystery, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode.